we go.
Good morning, Ms. Kudo.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good.
How was your week so far?
Everything good, thank
Good. So let's talk a little bit about your lesson.
Okay.
The lesson I observed was on Thursday,
Mhm.
December 15th, from
Right.
9:25 to 10:15. It's a third grade math classroom.
you. Right.
So we used the tool that we discussed at the pre-conference, the Hunter Step in lesson planning. Some questions I would like to ask you to understand a little bit about your thinking during the
Okay.
lesson is, how do you think the lesson went for you?
Overall, I think it went quite well. I did like having the children work in the groups, and I think they're getting better at that. So, yeah, I was pretty satisfied with it.
What was your goal for that day?
The goal was, speaking of groups, when they first started here, it was difficult to get them to work cooperatively in groups. So I felt as the year's progressing, we do that quite often. They know their roles in the group now, and I found that doing that was my goal, one of my goals anyway, to have them work together and to be successful. Obviously, the other goal was to understand the concept of division and breaking things up into equal groups.
Now I would like to just delve deeper a little bit into your lesson,
Okay.
the anticipatory set. So you spoke about the previous day on Monday, how you learned about, how they learned about repeated addition, the
Right.
distributive property. How do you think connecting the previous learning to the new knowledge impacted your lesson?
I think it's always important to connect so that they understand there's a connection to what we're learning, that it's not just, out of the blue, learn something. So learning that we've been focused on multiplication, and I wanted them to see how division is related to multiplication, just like we did repeated addition with multiplication. So I think it's very important so that they see there's a flow and there is a connection, so that my goal is that if they have to solve a problem, they'll have various strategies, whether they're multiplying, dividing, or using repeated addition. The strategies will be there for them. So that's my goal.
The objective and the purpose, I thought, was clearly mentioned, and you told them that they were going to divide using the number of items in each group,
Right.
and you mentioned that they would be working in groups. Do you think it was beneficial to let the students know the expectations as well as that they would be working in groups?
Yeah, I think that's always important for them to know, the fit, just like we put our objectives up on the board in their length so that they understand what we're doing. Yeah, it's always a purpose for anything. I think that is very important. That's what we do, right?
As the lesson transition, I noticed you utilized a smart board, and you displayed the array and had them circle the groups. For example, 48 divided by 6, you mentioned, you circle 6 groups of 8.
Right.
Do you think the use of technology along with the math and focus curriculum effectively caused the lesson, to make it, that students understood it better?
Yeah, I think, it's just technology is the way we're going. That's the idea, and the fact that they use so much technology. I think if we don't keep up with the use of technology, you tend to lose them a little bit. Plus, there's a lot out there using technology. The smart board is excellent. For them to come up and do what they have to do. Morning, Al. So yeah, I think that the technology is very effective in the teaching, and there's a lot out there that you can use. I love the smart board. Plus, you don't get the chalk on your hands anymore from the blackboard.
That's a good thing,
She's too
too.
young to know that. Remember that.
For the checking for understanding, I noticed you asked the students questions based on higher order thinking questions. Like you had a student come up to the board, 30 divided by 5 is 5 groups of 6. Why did you keep emphasizing this terminology, equal groups of? Do you feel that this actually helped or confused the students?
I hope it helped. I hope, less you thought it confused them. No, but Dominic. No, but I hope it helped them because being the type of students I have a lot of bilingual students. English is limited, so I find that it's very important. The vocabulary is important, and stressing what it is that they're doing, having them repeat it. I think that they internalize it better that way. So I do focus on that, and vocabulary too.
For the guided practice, I thought that was where it had the most impact in terms of group involvement. Before having the students perform the test, you explained what a math story is, explaining it that involves, reading, breaking it down into simpler parts, and the students were referred to the anchor chart that said math talk.
Right.
Do you think this was important, referring to the chart as well as verbally expressing?
Yes, again, the visual for the children to see what's up there in the chart shows them exactly what they need to know. I think it's important. It's a constant recall effort, so if I have things hanging up, I'm constantly telling them, look there, look here, and that kind of thing. So I think it helps them a lot.
You also had craft sticks, and you had the students place them, 54 craft sticks in groups of 6.
Right.
And I saw that there was a lot of work and it was engaging, and I saw that there was a lot of active participation. They were discussing, as I want to show you, the skillful teacher talks about active participation as students were operating, responding, and moving.
Right.
And I saw that a lot, that they were actively engaging.
Yeah. They're
And-
getting better at that.
Yes, that's what I noticed.
Yeah.
I saw that you had the manipulative, which was the craft sticks.
Yep.
Do you think that actually helped them understand the concept, or do you think that it's going to hurt them in the sense that would become a crutch?
I think it could become a crutch if that's the only way you do it. So, we start that way. That was an introduction. And I think that having them visually, again, we go back to that visual, see what it actually means is so important. We will, in future lessons, move away from that, always recalling, remember the craft sticks, or remember the raisins. We use raisins too. But yeah, I think that is important. They have to see it, but yeah, we don't want it to become a crutch where that's all they're using, or same thing with counting on their fingers when they first come to us. And we're okay with that in 3rd grade, and let's move away from that now. So yeah, you don't want it to become a crutch. So yeah, you do. We will be doing things without that in the future.
Okay. I also saw for the independent practice, you had the students actually apply what they learned in the classroom and circle the groups of, and had them write the number of each group. Why did you do that?
When they were doing the independent practice.
Yeah,
I think it's just important for them to try this on their own, to see what I could see. I go around and, monitor to see if they understood and if they're applying, the craft stick idea to what they were doing. And yeah, it's just, to make sure they got it. And we'll keep revisiting it.
Got it.
If we forget it.
Just I would like to say, if I can suggest a couple things. For the craft sticks, for when you model them, I would think if you could put the numbers, for example, like color code them, like 1, 1, 1, so then the students can actually put them easier into groups.
Okay.
So if you had
That does sound-
54,
yeah.
like put them in actual like groups,
Okay.
and maybe have them record their observations in a
A
little piece of paper or a journal, so they're more like accountable for it.
Okay.
And I would just like to meet with you to discuss additional ways to incorporate more group work, like you said, a jigsaw, a round table, different strategies.
Okay.
And I just want to say thank you for letting me observe your classroom.
Well, thank you for coming in, and I love suggestions and ideas, and you've got a lot of good ones.
Thank you.
Thank you.